there's a lot of controversy surrounding this game because he left the game early after a heavy hit in the second quarter, right? He tried to shake it off, but he was stumbled, and so they took him back to the locker room for evaluation. He came back in the second half, and he played the rest of the game. Now, a lot of people were saying, okay, well, did he have a concussion? I mean, he was stumbling. I mean, should they have put him back out there? What was weird for me about the situation was that, you know, they told him, or they told the media, or they told the broadcast that he was going to return, or he wasn't going to return. It was questionable for a head injury.
Yes.
But then after the game, he was like, oh, it was just my back.
It was a back injury.
Yeah, and my back, it was loose, and that's why I was stumbling.
Yeah.
But regardless of what it was, do you think he even should have been back out in the game?
Well, no, he shouldn't have been out in the game. I mean, if you have a back injury to the point where you're wobbling off the field, that is a high risk in a collision sport like football. But it seems to me that it was a concussion. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to diagnose people. But, I mean, you look at the hit. His head hits the turf. He gets up wobbling. I've been concussed 6 times that were documented. Like, I feel like I would know. I went through, though, the protocol just to kind of clear some things up. I think you'll find this interesting. So there's an unaffiliated neurologist, a doctor on the sideline that's supposed to be able to spot these things out. There is a diagnosis protocol. Part of it is observable signs of concussion, which includes slow to get up after contact to head, and that contact can include secondary contact with the ground, which happened to Tua. And then he gets up, motor coordination issues, stumbling would be observable signs of concussion. So there's 2. Then you go to the no-go signs, so things that happen where you're not supposed to return to play. That includes gross motor instability, defined in the judgment of the club. That's where the interest comes to me, because if they can point and say that his motor issues were due to the back and not because of a head injury, then he can get back in the game. So what this investigation is probably going to center around is, can they prove that he had a significant enough back injury that caused him to be wobbling like he was drunk at the bar at 3 a.m. on that football field? And if not, they broke protocol, and that is super dangerous. It's risky, and the NFL knows its history with concussions, should not do that.
Well, the Dolphins, their front office, they don't really have the best track record right now, so they can't afford to have another investigation. Okay, so you said they're going through the investigation here, and you went through the steps, but what are the penalties? What are the
I have no idea what the ramifications are, but, I mean, these penalties have to be stronger. I mean, you get kicked out of the league for a year for putting a bet on your team to do something positive. The penalties have to be as strong of a message as that type of a penalty. The league cannot tolerate a concussion scandal
and you know the player,
situation.
he wants to go back out there, but you gotta value his health.